consumer choice is really important here, that people will stick around if they're enjoying what they're getting, the experience they're getting at the price they're getting it. And people will come into the market if it's accessible and affordable. The onset of robo advice, for example, the robo advice market that followed the financial crisis is showing that the wealth management market is adapting to the new changes that are coming. There are new customer demographics that are being attracted to the market as people get over that inertia, either to enter the market or to move to look around from an existing provider. It'll start them to challenge themselves on how good a service am I currently getting, and how much does it cost to get that service, and can I get a similar service for a different cost elsewhere, which is exactly what we should be driving as an industry.
Kind of tunnel vision and myopic emphasis on just fees itself could be counterproductive. The better question is, what are you getting for the fees you're paying?
Turning savers into investors is the way that people are actually going to get some return on their money at the moment. There are, the interest rates are so low. We also need to democratize this world of investment.
Even in the kind of robo-advice space, where you may think the majority of it is automated and digitized, the majority of our customers still want that human customer care center, the operations center, to ring up, because we're dealing with people's money here. They want to know that it's a real thing. People who are dipping their toe in investments for the first time will be the people who on the acquisition journey just want to ring up and check that they're doing the right thing, or that the money's landing in the right place, or just want to query something around what investments is, what they're invested in. So it is vital to have that human contact.
I think most of the growth will happen in hybrid platforms where there is scalability afforded by fintech, where there is an engine for investment advice backed up by algorithms, backed up by recommendation softwares. But there's also the human touch through distance communication technologies where somebody is doing the hand-holding.
For me, it's about automating, digitizing those areas which can be digitized, and then that allows wealth managers, private bankers, or whoever to spend more time on building those client relationships, increasing touch points, potentially delivering new service lines, and creating new monetization opportunities. Across the industry, I think there's so much of this world ran off Excels, emails, PowerPoint, and pen and paper. A lot of these institutions that you're looking to work with and sell into have 30, 40 years of legacy systems, increasing revenue opportunities, improving operational efficiency, and reducing risk and compliance overhead. And I think they're the three key challenges that any technology innovation needs to really be tackling to be relevant in the industry. If you're not if you're not actually solving any of those problems, then I think your mission to be a player in the industry in some way, shape, or form is going to be pretty difficult.
We are investing people's hard-earned money here. This is their life savings. So I'm in favour of regulation. I think the two things that we could improve are on proportionality and consistency. Me as a small startup with kind of quite small level of regulations, to try and keep it simple, has to hold a similar kind of proportionate quantity of capital as a bigger player that has more that takes on more regulatory risks. Lots of our customers getting annoyed at having to answer 15 questions to be able to put their money with us, when they can go and put their money in Game Shop and maybe temporarily rise, but then gain. They can self-select without the same rigor as you do on robo advice, and similar with full fat advice. So I think I'm a big fan of regulation. We need to get it right in the right areas, and for me, you do that via proportionality and most importantly, consistency.
When we talk about innovation, we talk about very simple things like rounding up in your bank account. If you buy a coffee and you put the round up, be it 30 pence, 20 pence every single time into an investment, which with the new providers, you can do that.
There are ways in which platforms can nudge you to think about the future, about saving, about investing, which is again tech enabled, and we didn't have that 10 years ago. The tech platform can give you alerts, can provide stop losses into your investment routine, and so on, in a very systemic way that a human advisor probably cannot.
You will always have to provide the consumer with the ability to invest where the consumer ethically wants to invest, and also sort of morally wants to invest.
We use passive for our original funds and active for our ethical funds, and I think app plays a really good part into the ethical pitch, because you've got someone actively, regularly looking at your funds, and we have people regularly looking at those funds to make sure they're doing what they say on the tin, that they are ethical.
We've seen a lot of increasing demand for private markets propositions, and what I'm probably seeing is lots of clients exactly having concerns around the validity of what they're seeing in terms of flow of ESG information. So hence then taking it upon themselves to just invest in privately in investment opportunities that they are closer to, opportunities that they can get access to that are more have more of a near-term impact to them. So maybe something that's affected them in their walk of life, or or something that they have exposure to in their local community, for example. They're the kind of demand for impact investments that we've been seeing. There's lots of talk in terms of investor appetite around wanting access to interesting deals, I think, and investment opportunities that bridge together that idea, which previously would have been investment and philanthropy, trying to bring the two together so you can do a bit of both. And I think one of the big challenges at the moment has been access to high quality deal flow.
The diversification ability reduces. So actually, one of the biggest things we need to see is an increase in the number of underlying funds, actively managed underlying ESG funds in the market that give people the ability to diversify ESG-based funds in the market, and then we can start seeing a lot more optionality in products. There are some customers who would prefer to answer those questions throughout than give people access to their full set of data. Mm-hmm. And there's other customers who are maybe more time poor, that are more willing to share data to have an easier, quicker life through different onboarding situations.
Almost like a reverse marketing, where if you do say yes to having your data shared, you're getting value back from that these days, rather than the people who own your data actually marketing to you or selling your data.
This is the start of a very exciting journey for Active, because never in history has active managers had access to such computational power, such advanced machine learning, artificial intelligence, etc. So if you really want to play the active game, I think the tools have never been this strong.
There's obviously a lot of value to be had from the power of data analytics and insight. There's going to be a lot of value to come from digital asset tokenization and some of the technologies that underpin things like cryptocurrencies.
The difficult thing is to be able to understand what goes on, but also not getting sucked in the hype. And I do believe that if active managers completely stay away from this, they will miss out on some of the opportunities in the coming years.
I do see a big opportunity in tokenization around digital assets, and I think again it's about getting those workflows automated, getting the processes effective, getting our clients truly engaging their clients with a great private market proposition, and then we can look at how we can start moving into those kind of worlds.
It's about education. It's about education of the potential for tokenization, but it's also about the education of the value of getting into investing versus savings, because quite frankly, at the moment, very few people are making a lot of money by keeping money in pretty poor savings options or in current accounts.
Well, they're definitely on the radar because it's a live asset and our customers are interested in them. They ask us regularly about them, so we need to serve the market appropriately. At the moment, cryptocurrency and kind of token-based assets are quite volatile. and they're more in the speculation space for me rather than investment space.